Welcome everyone. Today what I want to talk about is I want to talk about how you can create, more meaningful impact and deeper connections with those who are around you and live a more fulfilled life. Now, a lot of time when I go to create a video, I'm trying to pack in as much value into principles and action items that you can go and do and start to see those immediate changes. And you can go check the channel and watch for all of those different videos. And this one's going to be a little bit different and just felt different today. I prepared an entire script. In fact, I recorded 15 minutes of it and then I deleted it because I wanted to make this more meaningful, more impactful, especially as we get ready to head into the Christmas season and the holiday season. And to me, when you are looking to transform people's lives, make a greater impact, have those deeper connections with family and friends and co-workers or community members that you come in contact with, and that you are looking for that fulfilled life, there are so many ways that you can go about doing that. And this is something so near and dear to my heart that it is the whole concept behind my book, The GIVER Method, that I have right here. So shameless plug, go get it. It's on Amazon. It's been out for a couple weeks, and your opportunity to really make a change. In fact, there's a reason why GIVER Method, it's how to transform lives through generosity. And it's basically to help you to unlock your superpowers and create impact, connections, and fulfillment within your life. So I'll put a link in the bio or in the description. That way you can go get it. But to me, this time of year is where we need to be reflecting and finding what are those, relationships that we are wanting to up level. Where are we wanting to upgrade the connections we have? How are we wanting to up level ourselves? And so I encourage you, because of where we're at in the month, just 11 days, 12 days away from Christmas, and then you got New Year's and Hanukkah starting soon and all this, that you start to do this reflection now so that you can enter the holiday season as intentional as possible with what you're trying to accomplish. Now, that may be that you're looking to discover, develop, or utilize maybe a gift or superpower you have more in the different connections that you may have. It may be that you're trying to up level the influence, or those in your sphere of influence, and be more intentional and more impactful. Maybe you're trying to create more value for the people in your lives and show them how much you care. Or maybe you're just trying to get better at, how do we have better discussions and engagements and interactions with each other? How do we get together as a family or as friends around the holidays and not argue and not lose our brains and of trying to make everything feel so perfect and so right? How do we gain that idea of what I call relationship riches? Now, a lot of what I'm going to cover is going to be grounded in the book, The GIVER Method. So, if you're new and you haven't had a chance to watch the videos and you haven't had a chance to get the book, when you're done watching this video, go to the description and get the book. But you can also go watch some of the videos where we dive deeper into it. But the GIVER Method is about helping you discover gifts and superpowers, providing more value to the people in your sphere of influence, and making every engagement, interaction, and discussion as eager and effective as possible so you can gain those relationship riches and step into who is what you're meant to be and live a more fulfilled life. I also know that when people develop their gifts and superpowers and they give them without expecting anything in return, that the universe always has a way of paying you back. And so I'm inviting you to let the universe pay you back by becoming a giver, by developing these gifts, but especially trying to utilize them and make that greater impact as we are heading into these holidays. Now, of course, if you're new here, I have to cover all the standard YouTube things. If you're new here, hit subscribe to the channel, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell for notifications. You can find us at TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook as under The GIVER Method. Go to thegivermethod.com. We got all sorts of stuff like that. You can also check out the book and get access to that. So let's just dive into what we can. And once again, this is going to be way more freeform and maybe scatterbrained, who knows? But I want to kind of just walk through what some of those things could be as we prepare for the holidays. And we are trying to show up more intentionally so that we can make that greater impact, have the deeper connections, and leave with a more fulfilled life and positive outlook as we head into 2025. And so for me, I would say that this is that perfect time to start reflecting on what do I want to have happen here? What is the actual end goal? By the time my family shows up, what do I want to have happen? How do I create the warm atmosphere that people feel welcomed? How do I make it feel inclusive? How do I make it that if I want to have a bunch of people over and they feel a certain way, how do I create that experience? So take the time to define what is it that you're hoping to get out of the season, out of a specific event, as we turn to the new year. Just identify what it is and write it down. And then from there, what you want to start to do is look for the ways that you can be more intentional about what you're going to be doing to make those things happen by using your gifts and superpowers. Now, you may not think that you have gifts and superpowers. I believe every person has 3 to 5 that they should be able to call on at any point and be able to utilize when they need to use it. There are too many people I've had in my life that I've seen use these unique gifts and superpowers to make positive change on me and on those around me. And I know that every person has it, and it's one of those core things of what lies behind the GIVER method. And so if you don't know what yours are, take some time to figure it out. Go check out the videos. I have a whole playlist on gift, and that helps you uncover and identify it. Get the book, work through the exercise. Every chapter has worksheets that you can learn to, go through each of these processes. But identify and actually map out, if I want to accomplish at my family dinner, I want people to feel warm and welcomed, and I want that, I want to have those magical memories. I want to make sure, well, great, what do we do to make that happen? And so I'm going to interject my ability to plan and break down the different processes. I'm going to use my empathy to do this sort of a thing. And then start to craft what sort of a process, what's the system, what's the thing that you could put in place that helps to make sure these superpowers and gifts are able to be applied correctly in those different, get-togethers. That could be setting up tech-free times where you're like, nope, we're going to do tech-free, or we're going to be doing very specific inclusive activities, or we're going to be doing whatever your family may do around this time of year, and saying, well, here's how we could approach the dinner, the present opening, the go look at Christmas lights together, whatever event that may be. Here's how we can approach it with our gifts and superpowers and start to make it be more impactful. What are the ways that I can make everyone feel inclusive, make them feel heard, make them feel, part of things? That could be that you're actually modifying the way that you would normally do some sort of a holiday tradition. You may institute something like a gratitude circle, or gratitude cards that people write for each other, gratitude letters where they get really deep and impactful on, the people who are there and how they've impacted your life. And if you're going to do this, be specific. Don't be generic, Mom, thankful for you being around. Like, be very specific about what was the event, what was the thing, how did she make a change for you in your life, or this year, or recently. Find those ways that you can create those moments of gratitude, because when we do that and we allow the space for people to share those, we're more vulnerable and allowing emotion to flow and hearing what people appreciate within each of us. And it's something that people hold on to. It gives you these lasting memories. I know that my grandparents, they've done a lot with Thanksgivings or Christmases where we're finishing up a dinner, and they'll, great, let's go around and let's express, what are we grateful for? What are we looking forward to next year? And it always felt spontaneous, but I doubt it was. It was probably them being hyper intentional about what they were trying to accomplish there. And so think of, what are those activities? Is it a gratitude circle? Is it a collaborative thing? Like, we're all going to make the meal together. We're going to utilize people's strengths in different ways. I've got 3 boys, from 14 down to 3 years old. And I know that there are different tasks and things I could let them do to help prepare for a meal, or to help prepare for a activity that we're going to do. How do we involve everyone? How do we involve the young person? How do we involve grandma and grandpa to be a part of that, so that everyone feels connected at that point? And then as you start to look at, what do I want to have happen? How do I use my gift superpowers? How am I going to be more intentional? Now I can start to put together those systems and processes to create greater impact. When you start to do these things, now I'm showing up differently. I'm being more present. We're turning off the distractions. I'm focused on how I can uplift those in the room and show gratitude. There's no other outcome that can happen other than deeper connections with those around you. Deeper, more meaningful connections, those relationship riches that so many people tell me that they would love to have, or that they're looking to improve within someone, someone specific within their family or friend group, that they're trying to make that sort of a change on. And then what this leads to is as you start to approach these sort of activities, these gatherings, parties, get-togethers, prepping for how you're going to have holiday guests, interact as they're in, staying at your home or whatever. What you'll start to notice is as each of the different activities and parties and gatherings, wraps up and you move on to the next thing, you're going to start to feel that fulfillment. You're going to start to feel that, a greater connection to a purpose, to what your values are. And as we get past Christmas, as we get into the new year, people start setting their, what are their resolutions? What are they hoping to accomplish as they start to move forward in 2025? You're going to actually be able to reflect back on the last couple of weeks, and you will feel so filled. Your cup will be so filled with positivity that when you go to think about what you want to accomplish next, you're going to be looking at something greater than where you are now. It's going to be the thing that actually propels you forward into next year so that you can achieve the goals that you want. Because if you then start to look at it through that positive lens, you're more likely to set higher goals, to reach for something that's a little bit further out, but do it in a way of positivity. And know that you've got family and friends that you can lean on as a part of that. You've developed that, created that as a part of, the connections you've just done. And you know that along the way, the universe will pay you back because of the different things that you've gone and done. And so if you want to propel forward, you want to have more meaningful, impactful gatherings this Christmas and holiday season, if you want that deeper connection, if you want to feel fulfillment at a new level that not only makes you feel good now, but it pushes you and propels you forward to do more as we get into 2025, then go through this sort of a pattern. Like I said, this is all just me. I didn't pre-plan any of this, and you can probably tell, you're probably like, yeah, Jake's off his rocker. But I wanted to just talk openly and hope that every one of you understands that there are people that believe in you. I always say that I believe in you, but there are people who believe in you and want you to be the best version of yourself. But at the same time, you have family members and friends who, what they need this holiday season is you to show up in a very specific way, and for you to be hyper intentional, and for you to bring your gifts and superpowers and provide value to the people in your life. And so I invite you to start going down that path. Yes, you're welcome to go on to, click the link in the description, go get the book, go to givermethod.com and get on the newsletter list. Leave comments on, what you thought about this video versus, maybe my more traditional videos. But I promise you that when you start to focus on it this way, I'm going to be hyper intentional about what I want to have happen. And I'm going to then attack that and work through it with my gifts and superpowers in the most intentional way that I can be. Because I want to create that impact. I want those deeper relationships. I want to be a force of nature when it comes to my friends and family, that they can turn and rely on me during any time of the year. And that Christmas of next year, that they're going to be coming more excited to participate because of the changes and the things that you put into place this year. I said, I promise you, you'll have deeper connections. I promise you that you'll discover new gifts and superpowers that you can start to apply in other places. You're going to find ways to be more intentional and show up differently to those around you. And you're going to be able to step into who you're meant to be and invite that universe to pay you back. And so I'll just leave you with that hopefully we can start putting the things in place to start having that best holiday, Christmas, New Year season that you can, by increasing your impact, making deeper connections, and finding that fulfillment that will really propel you forward into next year. And so with that, until next time, I'll just keep say what I always say at the end of my videos: keep giving, keep growing, and know that you are exactly what your family needs this year. You just need to be hyper intentional about how you want to show up for them and bring those gifts and superpowers and make the change in their life. And so until next time, have a great rest of your day. We'll catch you in the next, hopefully more scripted video. Have a good one.